Good afternoon, class. Today we're going to talk about samples and surveys. So just like when we did our posters, we sort of took a survey, indirect survey, where we asked questions. Okay, this is going to talk about when collecting data to solve a problem, you need to make sure that your methods are fair and that you accurately represent the data. Okay. First thing we're going to talk about is the data. There's two types of data. There's quantitative data and qualitative data. Okay. Quantitative data, okay, is data that has to do with units, most numbers, okay, and you can compare them numerically, okay. This is quantitative data. So you have 13 years, the weight, 214 grams, 23 minutes, okay. We did height in class, okay. This is all quantitative data. You can measure it. You can compare the two numbers or three numbers, okay. And another key is they have units. Years, grams, minutes, inches, feet. Okay. Qualitative data, okay, describes a category and cannot be measured or numerically compared. Okay. Brown hair color, like we did our favorite drink, okay, or our favorite color. All right. Zip code, even though it's a numeric data, it is not measurable, okay? It has no units to it. You can't take the 68005 area code and measure it against the 68123 area code, okay? It's just numbers that represent parts of a city, okay? So what we're going to do is we're going to look at a couple of them. We're going to classify the data as qualitative or quantitative. Remember, quantitative's numbers, think quantity, right? The N in there, think quantity. The average number of visitors per day at each of 6 different theme parks. So think of examples. Average number, okay? First keyword is number. All right, so you can have 4,000 people, 7,000 people, 3 people. So this is numbers, okay, and it's talking about people. So this is quantitative data. Okay, all right, monthly low temperatures in Rochester, New York. Okay, so we're talking temperatures. Right? This can be 73 degrees Fahrenheit, 16 degrees Fahrenheit. So these are numbers again, and you can compare them. So this is quantitative. Okay. All right, names of U.S. presidents and the states they were born in. Okay, these are names. So Ronald Reagan, Jimmy Carter. Okay, there's no numbers. You can't compare them. So this is qualitative. Okay, and last one, favorite color and a person's gender. So purple and male. Okay, pink and female. Okay, they're not numbers. Okay, you cannot compare them. So this is qualitative data. Okay. All right. Now the next thing we're going to talk about is samples. Okay, when you're taking surveys, you take samples because you can't actually survey a whole population. Okay, it's almost impossible. All right, a good example is when it's election time and you see a poll where it says, 43% of the people want to vote for a Republican or Democrat. Okay, they didn't actually ask every single person that's registered to vote. They took a sample of the population. Okay, so statisticians collect information about specific groups of objects or people. The entire group that you want information about is called a population. Okay, so if I want to take a survey at Bellevue East, so everyone in the student body is my population. Okay. When a population is too large to survey, statisticians survey a part of it to find characteristics of the whole. The part that is surveyed is called a sample. Okay, so you're taking a piece out of it. When designing a survey, you should choose a sample that reflects the population. The table shows 3 sampling methods. Each method should result in a sample that reflects the population. Okay. The first one is a random sample, and that is just pulling names out of a hat or standing somewhere and just asking, every person that stops by, okay, picking people from a balcony or something, just picking out people, just randomly talking to people. Okay. Systematic, okay, is when you take every 3rd person in line or every 9th person in line. Okay, so that's systematic. There's a method to the people you're sampling. Okay. Stratified is the last one. And stratified is when you separate the population into smaller groups and then you randomly pick people out of each group. So in a high school, all right, if we separate our grade levels, freshmen, sophomores, juniors, and seniors, okay, then we randomly pick 10 freshmen, randomly pick 10 sophomores, 10 juniors, and 10 seniors. That's stratified sampling. All right, so we're going to determine whether the sampling method is random, systematic, or stratified, and whether or not it will produce a good sample. Now, a good sample is a sample that represents the population. Okay. For example, if I want to know how many people in the city own a dog, okay, I'm not going to go to PetSmart and ask everybody that goes into PetSmart if they own a dog. Okay, because they probably do. So that's not a good sample for the city. Okay? So you might go to Walmart and you can ask those people, but not to a pet store. Okay, so you have to create a good sample. All right, a pollster randomly selects 100 people from each town in a certain candidate's district to see if they support the candidate. Okay. All right, so first of all, this is random. Okay, it says random. Okay, that's going to help. Keywords. Okay, and this doesn't necessarily produce a good sample because we're taking 100 people from each town. We don't know how many people are in each town. Are they registered voters? Are we picking unregistered voters? So it's not a very good sample. Okay. Next one, a factory tests the quality of every 13th shirt made. Okay, so this is systematic. Systematic's the one that you're picking every 13th, 5th. Okay, so there's an order to what we're doing. Okay, this is not a good sample because when we're testing for quality, random is better. Okay, because every 13th shirt might come from the same place, okay, or the same worker. So you're better off doing random when you're testing for quality. All right, a printing company randomly selects 10 of 450 books it printed to see if all the books were printed properly. Okay, random. Okay, and this is a good selection or a good sample because you don't necessarily know where the books came from and you're just randomly picking them, so it's going to make a good sample for the quality of book. Okay. All right, next one, DVD rentals. You want to find out how many DVDs students at your school rent in a month. You interview every 10th teenager you see at a mall. What sampling method are you using, and is this a good sample? Okay, 10th teenager. So this is systematic. Okay. And is it a good sample? It might look like a good sample because you see a lot of teenagers at the mall, but it's not a good sample. Okay? Because you want to know the students at your school. So if you go to the mall and you randomly select high school students, how do you know they're from your school? Okay, they could be from different high schools. Okay, so a better way to do this would be randomly pick students at your school. Okay, so not in a mall because you don't know where the students are from. Okay, they could be out of town, they could be from a different high school in a different city. So it's not a good sample. Okay. All right, and it's not a good sample because students could be from different high school. And that's all we're going to do with sampling and surveys. Our next one is going to be on biased surveys, and that will be for Monday. Have a great day. See you guys in the morning.